Hi guys! This week we had an update which includes some changes in a few items. I think it might be interesting to go over them to understand the changes and on which heroes you can utilize the new effect. So the first change was from the Haze Claw and Scarlet Phantom. They have joined forces to create a combo. So Haze Claws used to give you a whopping 75 points of physical damage plus a nice 25% lifesteal. But when your health dropped 50%, that lifesteal surged to a hefty 40%. It was the go-to for heroes who craved a solid dose of physical lifesteal. And then we had the Scarlet Phantom, an item that threw in 30 points of physical attack, a 20% attack speed boost, and a cool 25% crit chance. To top it off, letting a critical hit bumped up your attack speed by 30% and your crit chance by 5% for a full 2 seconds. Now, picture a mountain waving their magical wand and making these two items do the fusion dance. The result? The new Haze Claws comes to life, packing a punch with 30 points of physical attack, 20% attack speed, an even 20% crit chance, a solid 25% lifesteal, and plus 20% attack speed after you land a critical hit. Now let's break it down. The new item may not offer as much lifesteal, attack speed or crit chance as the individual items did, but here's the twist. It might just be your new starting superstar. For just 2020 gold, you're getting a versatile item that gives your basic attack a real makeover. Now here's the strategic scoop. If you got heroes who rely on basic attack for their main damage output, like Irrital, Bruno, Moskov and Layla, this item might just be their new best friend. Starting your build with this could be a game changer, boosting your DPS right from the start. I'd love to hear your thoughts on who else could benefit from this. Shoot me a comment and let's chat. Hold on to your seats because here's a shiny new addition to the item roster. The Great Dragon Spear. It's like the latest gadgets in the Heroes Toolkit. Check out the base stats. A nice plus 7 points of physical attack, a cool 10% cooldown reduction and a dash of 20% crit chance. But wait, there's a cherry on top. The ultimate move. After you unleash your ultimate ability, get ready to zip around with an extra 15% movement speed boost for your hero for 7.5 seconds. Now, doesn't that sound intriguing? Now let's dive into the juicy bits. Brace yourself, because this item is like the holy grail for heroes who crave cooldown reduction. You see, for the heavy hitting physical damage heroes, they usually had to choose from a limited pool of items, like Bloodlust Aches, Hunter Strike, Endless Battle and War Aches for their cooldown reduction needs. But guess what? The Dragon Spear swoops in like a superhero landing to change the game. Previously, if you played a hero that thrives on cooldown reduction, you couldn't stack up all those fantastic attack items with cooldown reduction, because let's be honest, some just didn't quite make sense for certain heroes. But guess what? The tide has turned with the arrival of the Great Dragon Spear. What makes it so cool? Well, for starters, that unique passive is the real MVP. Picture this, a whopping 15% movement speed bonus for a full 7.5 seconds. Now that's like giving your hero a rocket boost. Plus, this special ability comes back every 50 seconds, so you can strategize your moves like a pro. Here's where it gets interesting. This item is like a match made in heaven for heroes with ultimates that come back quickly, say around 50 seconds. These heroes are like Usain Bolt of the battlefield. They dash in, use their ultimate and dash out with the speed of a cheetah on espresso. So every time you hit that ultimate button, you not only unleash chaos, but also ride the wave of what movement speed buff. Think about it. Heroes like Alucard, Zilong, Irrital, Jawhead and Hanzo. These folks will rock this item like a badge of honor. But don't let that limit you. There's a whole treasure trove of heroes who can unleash their inner flesh with this baby. Go on, try it out with your favorite hero and get ready to serve up some tasty skills on a silver platter. In my previous video I told you about a way to get diamonds with a decent discounts by using my promo code of Aptoid. If you buy diamonds on a regular way, start to use Aptoid instead to save money when buying diamonds. Link is in the description. Then the Rapid Boots also had a makeover. They've scored a fantastic 35% reduction in those pesky slow effects. But there's a catch. They had to let go of 5 points of movement speed. Let's break it down. The new stats are a snazzy plus 65 movement speed, combined with that impressive 35% slow effect reduction. But it's still like if you've taken a hit or dealt some damage, you'll temporarily shed 25 points of movement speed for 5 seconds. Now, here's my 2 cents. These boots took a bit of a hit thanks to that lost movement speed. Frankly, I doubt anyone's gonna be clamoring for rapid boots to counter heroes who specialize in slowing folks down. In the grand scheme of things, not many heroes opt for these boots anyway. But there's always a twist in the tale. Enter Natalia. She's the one who's got her eyes on these boots. Why, you ask? Well, picture this scenario. She's on a mission, diving into the battle, landing her skills, and then making a swift exit to a cozy bush. It's like a sneak peek from a ninja movie. Now, well, these boots could lend her a hand by offering some extra protection against those pesky slow effects. Let's be real, I wouldn't bet the farm on it making a groundbreaking difference. So there you have it. The tale of the Rapid Boots and how they rolled into the spotlight with a twist. So keep these in mind, especially if you've got a soft spot for Natalia's ninja-like gameplay. But don't expect them to be the game changer of the century. Next, we have Twilight Armor. It's like giving your hero a shiny new shield against those pesky burst damage villains. So, rewind time a bit. The old Twilight Armor used to be all about blocking a hefty 300 plus 5% of your max HP. But hold onto your heads, because it's undergone a transformation. Now it's in the business of blocking 150 plus a cool 15% of its max HP. And here's where it gets thrilling, especially if you slot this beauty into one of your final item spots. Picture this scenario. You've taken a hit of more than 600 damage. Well, guess what? That extra damage above the 600 mark, the Twilight Armor swoops in to rescue, chopping it down by a good 150 plus 15% of your HP. And that can easily add up to a beefy 1500 HP. Now that's what I call armor with a backbone. So here's where things get interesting for the big, tough heroes. The ones who could make a mountain quake just by stepping on it. I'm talking about tanks with sky-high HP like Hylas and Beleric. Imagine these guys rocking like 13k HP with Twilight Armor in tow. You're basically laughing off 2100 damage every 5 seconds. Now that's some serious resilience right there. But wait, there's more. This armor isn't just for giants of the battlefield, it's like a secret weapon against those who deal out insane burst damage in one fell swoop. Think Beatrix, Aldous, Eudora and Cecilian. These are the folks who pack a real punch. And guess what? Twilight Armor is your knight in the shining armor against them. It even takes on Leslie's true damage with a smear. So here's the deal. When you're out there on the battlefield, be the tactical genius. Survey the situation, read your enemies like a book, and if you're up against those heavy hitters, Twilight Armor might just be the golden ticket to your Fortress level protection. The less significant change is Blade Armor, the ultimate nightmare for heroes who swear by their basic attacks. Now let's break down the awesomeness. Imagine strapping on an item that gives you a powerful 19 points of physical defense, a slick 20% reduction in crit damage, and wait for it, the ability to bounce damage back to your attacker when they dare to land a basic attack on you. But here's the real kicker. Back in the day, this damage reflection was a cool 20% of the pain you would have taken without your defense. But guess what? The upgrade has arrived and it's a whopping 30% damage hurled right back at the attacker. That's a jaw-dropping 50% growth in counterattack might. Let's put it this way. It's like your enemies are poking a hornet's nest and getting stung themselves. Picture this scene. You, armed with blade armor, facing off against a bunch of heroes who are all about those basic attacks. It's like a duel between David and Goliath, except you're David and blade armor is your trusty slingshot. And guess what? This is where the fun kicks in. Imagine a scenario where the opposing team is stacked with 2 or 3 basic attack heroes. Well, my friends, it's like Christmas morning for you. You, as the tank hero, get to pick up blade armor and turn the tables. Those attackers won't know what hits them, as they inevitably dealing some serious damage to themselves. Think about it. Heroes like Layla, Mia, Argus, Zilong and Bruno, they are in for a rude awakening when you tangle with your blade armor clad tank. It's like showing up to a sword fight with a shield that fires back. So there you have it. Blade armor, the unsung hero of the battlefield. A counter-attack magician that turns basic attack into boomerangs. It's like having a superhero on your team whose sole mission is to make your foes think twice before swinging that sword. So the last change is from the steel leg plates, which just add some physical defense. Won't increase the price from 530 gold to 630 gold, which is the only change. We haven't had enough inflation in the world, so also this item you just need to pay more for. So this was it for today. What part of this update did excite you the most? Let me know in the comments, because I'd always like to hear from you as well. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you again in the next guide.